Hello and welcome to Editing with My Wife, now with electrical issues. My name is The Hooded Philosopher, and I'm here with Cheesy Loops. Cheesy Loops, what is the podcast are we doing here?
It's a podcast where we had to take a break for a couple because of our electrical issues. So much fun.
We're on a page here. Let's get to the right page.
Electricity is fun.
Right. We're going to go a little faster. This is going to be a short one. So, in chapter 16, Zig revealed what he really looked like, and everyone just kind of made him feel better about it. And then they went down to the White House and rescued a bunch of people and put a bunch of other people back to the other Earth.
Yep.
And they did it in a pretty awesome way, many different ways.
Many ways.
When they got to the biggest group, there was a bomb, and they were shouting, "Blow it up! Blow it up!"
And they found the pinkyless man. Well, singular pinkyless man.
His left hand was missing a pinky. Yeah.
His left hand was missing a pinky.
Kicked him through the portal. What happened after that? After the bomb got defused?
Well, in chapter 17, killing is wrong. They went inside a house and up a couple flight of stairs and forced people through, and we found out Hannah had some curative in her living metal that she used on the guy who shot himself in his femoral artery.
It's like a healing grenade in a way.
I like healing grenades. And then they took a trip to a mall that was otherly crowded. I like that word, otherly crowded. And through splitting up and kind of tactics, they put, what, 6 more? 8 more.
8 more, because there's only 6 left.
No, there was 12 left after the 8. And then they went to the cult of nature.
Oh, yes.
And there was 6 on one side and 6 on the other side, trying to call in the same place at the same time.
Trying to connect to nature.
Yes. Where, yeah, they did get the 6 from one Earth back to their original Earth, but Hannah did do something pretty devastating to her own psyche. And killed 6 people in a...
It's tough to say Hannah did it.
But Hannah did it.
But we will learn that Hannah did indeed do it.
Yes.
But maybe not the Hannah that you're all thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a great segue into the chapter.
Woo!
Which is called... I forgot. Oh, The Other Hannah.
The Other Hannah.
All right, let's get into it. I will read it.
You'll read it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you're a little farther away because of our electrical issues.
Yeah.
Hannah was asleep. Everyone else needed to rest too. They went to the table of bounty without their sister and rested it in the canopy. Zig watched over Hannah, and when they all left, he spoke. "I lost track of you on Infer-Earth, only for a few minutes. I need to know, were you angry? Did you do something?" She wasn't asleep. "I killed 6 people," she said meekly. She sat up, hands in her face, and wept quietly to herself. Zig did interrupt. He was feeling sympathetically remorseful. She took a deep breath in. It was too easy. I just didn't want to fail," she tried to justify. "No, I didn't need to. I was just so angry." Her head was spinning. "This isn't me. What's happening, Zig?" She searched his alien eyes for an answer, but it was hollow. There was nothing he could say to take back her actions, so he said nothing. "I didn't want to live. I don't want to live if I kill people. Impulsively kill people," she shouted. "Before you do another rash action, I offer some additional insight in the gift I bestowed upon you. When you walked into the flower, you were human, but now many people on your planet would call you an angel, for you took a step toward the limit of human transcendence. You are no longer alone in yourself. In fact, what you haven't learned has hampered your abilities. Maybe with some training, with your new soul, will help you. There's only 6 left. We'll let Otto, Renner, and Izzy put them back where they came from. I will guide you to better understand the soul to which you are intertwined. First, you must find the name of the soul to which you are attached." She was wiping away the tears. "How do I do that?" "The rest, and rest well. It seems the soul is angry, and you need to talk to it in order to displace the anger. I will help in every way I can. Just like your siblings, you need to rest, but so does your other soul." Zig walked over to the table where a bottle of curative appeared, and he gave it to her. Take this, sleep deeply. There you will meet the one to which you are tied. She downed the potion and laid her head back down. When she closed her eyes, she was asleep. Something came from the depths. Hannah opened her eyes to see the mountain with a forest on the left and a lake on the right. Next to her was Zig, not connected to Zigmist. His smile was heartwarming. She wanted to say something, but she stopped herself. Zig looked different here. He was acting different, too. Who are you? She thought to herself. I am Hannah, it thought back. How can you be me? She thought back, but there was no response. She felt like a fool. He couldn't read thoughts. Zig grabbed her hand, and they took off flying over the mountain when suddenly she was at the top. She could see it all underneath her. The scene flashed around her suddenly. Zig was kneeling on a metal platform, his hands in slow motion. His fists hit the metal, and the 6 people below them died from the metal shattering their skulls. Stop! She shouted. She jumped down from the platform, pulled the hood off. The closest one was Renner. His head caved in and bloody. Zig was standing next to her. No, this didn't happen, was filling her mind. No, he said back. No, he waggled his finger at her. Renner's face turned back to the original. Who are you? She begged. H-A-N-N-A-H, he spelled out for her. I get it. You're a part of me, but what do I call you? Hannah, it repeated. She was standing on the metal again. Zig disappeared, and in the place was Hannah made out of the Zig mist. Okay, I'll call you Hannah. It might get confusing, she smiled to herself. I want out, she said back. How do I do that if you kill people? She asked her Zig mist copy. It frowned. You and I are one. You kill everything I kill. The real Hannah frowned. I don't want to kill. Killing is the easiest way to accomplish our mission, Hannah said back. But killing makes me want to die, she explained. You die, I die. It understood. It leaned down, slammed its fist on the metal. This time, the small pieces of metal exploded. They became nets that fell and incapacitated the men below. Yes, she shouted in victory. Please, do this in the future if you find yourself in control again. How did you get control back there? Hannah asked her new friend. I was ignored. You must not ignore me. Okay, she said. I'll always try to ask what you want. It smiled back at her. Then they were looking at her sleeping body in HQ. If you trust me, I'll trust you, she offered Hannah. Hannah nodded to her. The other Hannah touched the sleeping Hannah's heart and then disappeared. The metal pooled above her body when suddenly an eye appeared. She was awake. Then she was awake. The metal floating above her, eye staring back at her. Zig was staring at the screen when Hannah awoke. As soon as he saw the eye, he shouted, You did it! He clapped his hands together in a strange fashion. He looked into the eye of the metal. Do you see me with your eyes closed? Hannah closed her eyes and saw Zig plain as day. How are you, Hannah? He greeted her. How? Did you know I could do that? She shook her head. Zig nodded in excitement. You have to teach it as much as you learn about it. I just didn't think you would be so quick. You are an excellent teacher. I imagine you must be a better student. She briefly pulled his attention away from the screen, monitoring her siblings. Your siblings could use some help. Why don't you try to connect with Izzy's sword? See through the new Hannah's eye. Okay. That's the chapter. It's very brief, but it has a very important thing to say.
Yes.
And that is what?
That Hannah has Hannah, and they're one in the same, but at the same time, 2 different souls.
Yes. And they're just... There is something that happened that we'll write about in a minute here that we'll get into, but...
Yeah.
Did it flow well?
The first part does feel like it flows very, very well.
When she's talking to Zig?
Yes.
And when he talks about her being an angel?
Yes.
I'm very directly saying angel here.
Yes.
She's an angel now.
Yeah.
This is what angels are.
Oh,
They're
yes.
covered in liquid metal and have many eyeballs.
Yeah. That very much pulls from that...
wonderful lore.
That lore of angels, what they actually look like. These very scary things.
But also a pretty lady.
Also a pretty lady.
Like both.
Uh-huh.
She is both of those. And it's really kind of a fun thing. Yeah. And she stepped towards the limit of human transcendence, which means you've become more than human. Mm-hmm. Better, bigger than human, whatever that is. And has another person attached to her, in a sense.
Yeah.
But that person is her. It's just attached to her and as a secondary kind of awareness to its in its own right.
Yeah.
And,
So, there was one thing if you want to talk about when it says, "If you trust me, I'll trust you."
Yes, that's Hannah saying it to Hannah.
Okay, so is that the other Hannah saying it to Hannah?
Oh, so it's a context problem?
Yes.
Yeah, you might be right. She offered, comma. Hannah nodded to her. The other Hannah. See, the problem is it's the same Hannah as the other Hannah in the next sentence.
Okay, so
So
it says,
the other Hannah is the one that nodded. But if I say the other Hannah, then the other Hannah is in the next sentence.
right, so, okay.
So the Misty Hannah, that's what I'll say.
Yes.
There you go.
Metal Hannah when she's out in the real world. In her mind, she's Misty Hannah, but...
Oh, I already had Hannah typed out. So it says, "Okay," she said, I'll always try and ask what you want." It smiled back at her. Then they were looking at her sleeping body in HQ. "If you trust me, I'll trust you," she offered. The Misty Hannah nodded. Then reached out. I could just say that.
Okay. So that was Hannah telling other Hannah that... See, I read it the other way around.
Yes, I can see why you would do that. It made it a little confusing because there wasn't recognition that Hannah said something to another Hannah. And then the next sentence was in reference to the same Hannah that was before. I can see the confusion. Mm-hmm. I think this clears it up, though.
Yeah. What you doing?
Just kind of reading ahead here. Making sure I have it right.
But...
You're a Hannah-mist.
Hannah-mist?
She could have her own Hannah-mist. Incorporate herself into a greater consciousness.
No, I think it's very well done. I do think...
And if you notice, she's the only one talking in this whole sentence. The other one doesn't say anything. It's all motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like maybe that I should have had an enter there, but there wasn't supposed to be.
Right.
All right. I'm still on that. Mm-hmm. Let's get into the real Hannah frowned back. "I don't want to kill. Killing is the easiest way to accomplish our mission." Is that enough of a reason, or should I expound on that maybe?
Not yet. I think that's much later in this chapter. Because, I mean, it's just killing's the easiest way to accomplish our mission. And she just expresses her feelings of killing makes me want to die. Mm-hmm. I don't want to kill is what Hannah is telling Hannah.
Mm-hmm. And the other one, it's not that it wanted to. It's just that it didn't understand that there was a reason not to. Mm-hmm. And she kept being slow about it. And it was ignoring him. Mm-hmm. And ignoring the other Hannah. And so the other Hannah just got angry.
Oh, that's right.
Someone else gave her the temper tantrum. So right?
The read-through made me think of something of, I was ignored. You must not ignore me. When she says, "Okay,"
there could be something more said there, right?
Yeah, something to the effect of, "I didn't realize I was ignoring you," or "I'm new to this and I'm not sure what I got myself into, and I will do my best. I will do what I can to not ignore you from now on." Clack clack times. I'm new to this, and I really enjoy the company. I will do better in the future to not ignore you. Something to that effect. Oh no, she does that. "I will always try to ask you what you want." She does say that. So that's a good way to put it.
So she says, "Okay, I'm new to this. I really enjoy the company. I'll always try to ask what you want. No more ignorance."
Nice.
And smiled back at her. Yeah, there we go.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, she just wants to help. That's all. She's not trying to be a problem. Oh, wants to fix Misty, but it's not supposed to be fixed. That's That's a word. Okay.
So, I feel like Hannah would have a little bit more questions to Zig and to Hannah.
So what would she ask? We got good places here.
So when she says, "Did you know I could do that?" and Zig nodded in excitement, he's saying yes.
He's saying, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, he would say yes. Ooh. I have something to say before this, too. I just remembered.
What?
When Zig saw the eye and shouted, "You did it," would he say, "You succeeded" instead? Is that more of a Zig talk than "you did it"?
Yeah, "you did it" is very human. You're right. It would be more something along the lines of...
You succeeded quickly,
It's more like a surprise than it is exclamation.
Okay.
Because he didn't think it would be so quick.
Yeah.
He thought, like, another couple hours down, asking more questions, but no, Hannah's too good. She's too good of a person.
I just don't see him saying "you did it."
It's fair. I just got to figure out what it is. And you can tell us in the comments what you think it should be said there. And maybe it would just appear there.
Because I personally feel like "succeeded" leans more towards what you're trying to accomplish. It may not be the right words, but definitely is better than...
What, success already?
Not already. That means there was doubt. And he wasn't doubting so much as drawing from previous experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You spoke to it?
You spoke to it. He clapped.
Like an excited astonishment.
Yes.
Like, holy crap, you spoke to it already.
Yeah. Yes. That's fine. I like this. Did you know I could do that? Zig nodded in excitement. Of course I did. You have to teach it as much as you learn about it. I just don't think I could be that quick. You're an excellent teacher. I meant to be a better student. I feel like Hannah would have more questions after that.
There's place for questions. I just don't know the questions.
So one of the questions I would see Hannah asking is basically, if he knew she could do this, were there other people that have had living metal or have incorporated themselves with living metal? Because obviously there are other examples.
Troon is a part of Zig.
Troon is a part of Zig, so he must have gone through this?
What about... What was her questions?
One of the first question is...
I had something.
Has anybody else...
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Has anybody else connected with the living metal? But it's more of effect of a point you have to... I mean, we're saying that Hannah doesn't want to ignore it anymore. So she has to ask, I have a question for either one of you. So she is including Hannah in her question. Right? Or I have a few questions. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So she says, "Did you know I could do that?" She shook her head. "Of course I did. I myself took several days before Troon showed me his inner eye." What about that?
Okay.
Of course I did.
Yes.
Okay, so that kind of... She doesn't have to ask the question.
That's good. The other question is the naming thing. Why is it so adamant being called Hannah? And is it Troon for Zig? And why is it Troon for Zig?
That's Because his name isn't Zig. The person that bonded with it. Zig is the bigger entity above that.
I see.
Ooh, I hate it when it does that. Okay. She tried to differentiate herself. How do I do that if you... And what was his response?
How do I...
Because they're talking about death. How do I do that? How do I let you out if you kill people?
Uh-huh.
And what does he say? He doesn't focus on the...
Oh, we are one.
The killing.
Yeah.
He focuses on the fact that she differentiated himself from... Hannah's differentiated themselves, which isn't the thing they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
You're supposed to kind of connect and be one. Yeah. What was the... Did I get lost? What were we talking about?
We were doing questions.
Yeah, what was the other question? Because I was looking in the right place to do it.
Why is it adamant about being called?
Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, so it's right here. After might get confusing. She smiled to herself. Why
Whoa, wait. You're not typing in the right spot.
Oh, good point. Why are you so insistent on calling yourself? That's one word. Calling doesn't have a V in it. And I spelled instant as wrong as I possibly could. That's insistent. That's why I spelled it right.
Da-ba-da-da. Okay. Spelling.
Oh, that can't be that either. It's got to be simple.
My name is your name.
That's what he would say. Which doesn't resolve what you're trying to get at.
No.
That's the problem. He doesn't have a way of expressing what you're trying to
That's
get
why
at.
I was thinking that
Zig would have to ask.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking of asking Zig, and she wants to keep Hannah included.
Okay, so this just needs to be moved. Okay.
Yes.
How do I move it, though? Oh, that's fuzz. Right here.
Move it. You're typing... I don't think you're typing in the right spot.
No, it is.
Okay. And clack clacks round 17,000. Because I can't read what he's writing. And I don't want him talking.
So, it is a convention of good. The name is often derived by reversing hosts.
The host's name.
Yes. At some higher level, the name changes again because you are representing more than one now. More than one other thing. More than two other things. You're representing a much larger thing.
Okay.
Not quite a planet yet, but an advanced piece of land.
All right. So, why are you so insistent on calling yourself Hannah? It's spoken its head. My name is your name. It is the connection of good. The name is often derived by reversing the name of the host's name.
I see, I did. Okay.
Another question Hannah would ask is, why was killing the first thing it thought of? Why does it think killing is the easiest path?
Oh, crap.
The hiccups.
I don't know why she would care. What matters to Hannah is no killing.
Curiosity, learning, understanding the new entity inside of her body, so she can understand why it wanted to do that first.
I don't know what you're asking now.
What? Like, because I know she said earlier, why did you have to kill them? And it said killing was the easiest path. And then, but she doesn't want to kill. But she would have to ask Zig to understand it better of why killing it. And it kind of gleans into more information about the childlike nature of this entity. Does that help you a bit more?
Well, I guess a good way to a good thing to ask then is what kind of childlike attributes am I referring to when I refer to him as childlike? And what I would say is, if you had the ignorance of a child, the capability to learn as a child, but none of the will to self-express, to like be a part of the world, like gone. But you have the intellect of it and the capability to expand like a child does. But its way of receiving the information is not from its own means, typically. It's from Hannah. So she's more its mother.
Right. The curiosity is, in my head, too, I asked this question, why was killing the first place it went to?
That's a good point. I just...
What?
I guess...
Thunk. I like it when he gets halfway through a thought. But he is typing, so there's that. I'll take it, the typing.
So she asks, why was killing the first thing you thought of? Hannah's reply would be, again, killing was quick. He doesn't see that. He's not going to answer the question like she needs. He's not thinking the same way that an adult thinks, is what I'm getting at.
Well, I was thinking Zig would answer this question.
Exactly.
More.
And we kind of set it up here to where they're both answering it, and she's not really too concerned about it.
Right. And the other Hannah is feeling included with these questions as well.
No. This is a lot different because Zig talks a lot.
Yes. Zig expounds upon his... He gives all the information. You ask him a question, he's going to give you all the information he can about that particular question. Can I stop coughing? Can I get a drink when you get a chance? Thank you.
Develop. OP? PE? I don't know how to spell develop.
D-E...
V-E-L.
Velo.
I was looking at the wrong spot is the problem.
D-E-V-E.
L-O-P.
L-O-P.
Okay.
L-M-N-O-P. Hood, it's doing typing.
This is so much words. So much complicated words.
So many.
So we'll start with, just for now, he says, the head, it says, killing is quick. Oh, wait, this is just a start. Okay, I see.
And more typing.
Oh.
It's like you have to add more to the chapter.
Well, it's not adding more to the chapter. It's trying to explain this in a coherent way because it's nonsense.
We'll read it out loud real quick and then maybe...
Well, all I've got right now is the metal exists within all life. Without the means to study it, your people would have never developed the understanding required to manipulate it.
Why are you going so deep?
Because it's Zig.
It's Zig, okay. Zig does not.
You've already answered this, is what I realize.
Oh.
Because the answer to that question is you have to teach it as much as you learn about it.
Yes.
And since she knows nothing about it, it knows nothing else. It's just going to run on instinct. That's what it is. Okay.
Yay. Maybe I said that for a reason.
What was I saying, though? What did I say?
You started off with my sentence.
That's what it was. Okay, okay.
Wow. The coughs do not want to go away. Speak to me, boy. Speak.
I messed up. Oh, I just gotta fix some text here. I just realized it.
Oh, I see. He's moving everything around.
And I popped it right into place.
I'm making him do more work.
Okay. Finally, someone to talk about it with. Great. Okay. So now the ending goes.
Ooh.
I gotta put this in the right place. Okay. Okay, I'm new to this, and I really enjoy the company, she said. I'll always try to ask you what you want. No more ignorance. It smiled back at her. They were looking at her sleeping body in HQ. If you trust me, I'll trust you, she offered. The misty Hannah nodded to her. They then reached out and touched the sleeping Hannah's heart and disappeared. The metal pulled above her body when suddenly an eye appeared. Then she was awake, the metal floating above her eye staring back at her. Zig was staring at the screen when Hannah awoke. As soon as he saw the eye, he shouted, "You spoke to it!" He clapped his hands together in a strange fashion. He looked into the eye of the metal. "Do you see me with your eyes closed?" Hannah closed her eye and saw Zig plain as day. "How are you, Hannah?" he greeted her. Did you know it could do that?" She shook her head. "Of course I did. I myself took several days before Troon showed me his inner eye." "Why are you so insistent on calling yourself Hannah?" she asked. "My name is Hannah. My name is your name," it spoke in her head. "It is a convention of good. The name is often derived by reversing the host's name." Zig spoke with it, though she didn't seem to mind. Why was killing the first thing you thought of?" "Killing is quick," it explained. Zig nodded in excitement. The metal exists within all life. Without the means to study it, your people would never have developed the understanding required to manipulate it. After one acquires the understanding of it, then one finds you have to teach it as much as you learn about it. That I just didn't think you would be so quick. You are an excellent teacher. I imagine you must be an excellent student. A better student. She briefly put his attention away from the screen, monitoring her siblings. Your siblings could use some help. Why don't you try to connect with Izzy's swords? See through the new Hannah's eye. Is that good?
Yeah, that's really good.
Let us know what you think in the comments below. Oh, that was the wrong button. Let's put the thing back up, though.
Yeah, put the thing back up so we can do the recap.
Recap. 18. The other Hannah. I did toy with the idea of leaving the H off for that Hannah to make it easier to write, and then I thought that's just not what happened.
Well, that's why you keep leaving the H off of Hannah's name.
Yeah.
Because you had that thought, and now it's in there forever, stuck. All right. So, in this chapter, Hannah breaks down.
Breaks down. What happened after that? Zig helps her to sleep.
Zig helps her to sleep.
Slept. Okay.
Hannah
meets Hannah.
Hannah meets Hannah.
A few more questions.
I was going to say, with a better understanding, Hannah becomes badass.
Hannah has more questions.
Hannah has more questions.
For the eye. Alright. Thank you for watching.
Have a good day.
Yes. Have a good day once I close out of this and I'm not editing it. So love you guys. Bye.
Bye.